or can destroy it.
You look at like Peter Jacobson and Fran Drescher, they're like best friends.
Exactly.
Which I don't know how that happens.
I think, well,
if you and I were married for 10 years and I said, Melissa, I'm gay,
I would say, oh, I'm shocked.
You would say, no kidding, that's why I married you. We've had such a great time together.
Well, have you seen these things on like Instagram and TikTok about these people who are literally coming out and saying, I'm gay, or I'm gay and I'm straight, but we're married and we're best friends?
No.
You haven't seen these? Oh, I've seen like a whole handful of them.
Really?
It's very interesting, and they talk about why it works. Because it's really about companionship and loving someone and having someone there for you.
Did they get married knowing this? Like,
yes.
Oh, so it's just like we live in a nice house and you have your bedroom, I imagine.
Exactly. And
it's not horrible.
No, and they're like, we are genuinely, emotionally in love with each other. We're just not physically attracted.
Now, granted, I don't see it either seeing that and just like having... You're my friend. I'm at your house today.
But it does for a lot of people. It has to do with like insurance. It has to do with benefits. It has to do with all these different, really boring reasons.
Okay, so you get some benefits out of it. Okay, listen, if the house is big enough and you each have your own separate area, you know what? Kyle and Mauricio are going to find out. I mean, they are finding out.
Well, they also have an enormous house.
They are living separate lives.
But and we'll go back to Bethenny. Don't you think men... Okay, first of all, are you a Gold Star gay?
Yeah. I mean, I have a girlfriend. Yeah, I am a Gold Star gay. I had a girlfriend...
Did you ever make out with her?
Well, yeah, I had a girlfriend in high school. We fooled around-ish, but I think it only applies to did you actually close the deal and sleep with each other? If you didn't, you're a Gold Star.
I think you are making the lines fuzzy just because you like gold, shiny things.
No, that's not. That's not. I mean, that's not... I mean, my watch is rose gold, but that's a whole other story.
I'm not a yellow Gold Star. I'm a rose gold.
A rose gold. No, but I really think it's you have to sleep with them. And if you don't, I think you're still considered a Gold Star. I don't think kissing counts.
Your secret's safe with me.
A little fooling around here and there, you know. But I think Andy's a Gold Star also. So, see, Andy and I have that in common.
We'll have to match you to it.
I mean, I think I'm about 30 years too old for Andy.
Probably. But what is it like? I don't think Mauricio has a real problem with Kyle being with Morgan, because men in general don't have a problem with women having affairs with other women. And I'm speaking in very broad terms.
I could see that. I mean, he's coming, he did a video the other day where he's like, here, I'd like to say this to all the paparazzi.
He went like this.
Yeah. I mean, mind you, and then he had another video where he's like playing like hard rock music and working out. Like, I'm like, oh, is this why people think Mauricio's hot? Because he was looking pretty good. He's not really I don't lust after him as much as most of the Bravo audience does, but he was looking decent. Mind you, again, Buying Beverly Hills is about to come back on Netflix.
Again, everything is so thought out.
Yeah.
It's like the Kardashians where nothing happens by accident.
It's just like...
There's like a playbook.
There's a playbook. It's just like the paparazzi and media have been covering your life night and day for about 9 months. All of a sudden, you want to do a post and say this is your message and you're flipping them the bird. I just think, okay, well, your new show is starting like in 2 weeks. It's calculated, which is fine, right?
Shocking. Okay, but we have to go back to Bethenny and Andy and Garagos, the lawyer, the law firm, suddenly coming out and really getting aggressive.
It sounds personal, right? So, like, I mean, Brandi's accusing Andy of, like, my whole thing is why? Like...
Again, he's a Gold Star gay. Why is he going to say... Was he going to walk in and go, you know?
Apparently, I mean, his response... apology. I mean, he mentions, I think it was him and Kate Chastain sent her this video of like, I'm going to quote unquote sleep with Kate tonight. Right. It's never going to happen. And Kate's, fun like Brandi. And it's like, and she's, we want you to watch. Right. It's obviously a joke.
Clearly a joke.
Which is what he said. But I just don't know why, like, what is her motivation? Like, yes, you're mentioning this thing with Caroline. Your time at the network is over regardless of this.
But maybe not.
You don't think?
Again, it's all clickbait and ratings, and
You think there's a place?
now we want to see her fight with Andy.
Well, he apologized and said,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
basically said,
it was a joke and I apologize. And then, right, her lawyers responded, and the response to me, yes. To me, this sounded like Bethenny was sitting there writing this. You know, they were like demanding he get terminated, demanding, they said, NBC, your legacy depends on this. They said, how could someone be so above the law like Andy? They said, we understand now you've given someone so much power. They're behind the camera. They put themselves as the star of their own production. They hold this national conference, obviously referring to BravoCon, where they decide to host the thing. That makes millions. You know, it sounded really, and they just said, we demand, and they said, by the way, he basically admitted there's a video. The mere definition of sexual harassment is your boss saying, I want to have a threesome. They have some valid points in there.
they're very, again, this is where
good.
they get into a lot of trouble, is there's a difference between intent and reality of what it says. And very often, but that's all over the world now. That's one of our legacies of being overly woke, is intent versus the reality.
And they're saying, like, intent doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
the definition of sexual harassment is exactly when you're involved. And, like, if you do think of it in a corporate setting, okay, you have a point.
Right. But again, this isn't a corporate setting.
It's not, and they really just, that to me seems like Bethenny was sitting in the other room. I
Just
don't know,
going
I
like
can't-
this.
Right? I mean, it seems so personal. Like,
It's personal.
What's your play? Like, if you want money, right, you wouldn't even be here. You would just say to Andy, we're going public with this.
Right.
Give us money.
But no, Andy's untouchable. You and I have talked about that. I don't think anyone is going to take down Andy.
in most, I cannot tell you how many calls I've gotten from housewives and people on Bravo, but mostly housewives, past and present, when this happened, just like, oh my God, yeah, everyone agrees. Everyone now, after like an hour, they're like, no, this was going nowhere. That's the consensus based on, I don't ask for these things. My phone just rings and
I don't ask.
who is it?
Comes
I'm like,
to me.
who is it now? Okay, well, let's hear your opinion. Great. Can't use any of this on the podcast. I mean, do you want to say this? Oh, God forbid we say this in public. But the majority is, yeah, most people are like, this is just going away.
No, and if they did get rid of him, it would cost them so much money. I don't know if you read this morning. Don Lemon is being paid out the remainder of his contract for like 24 something million. I would love to get fired for 24 million. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Well, I say this all the time. 1 second, Chris Hansen too from The Bachelor, 25 million. I see Don Lemon. He's Friday night in Bridgehampton. Allman is gay night. I don't know if you know this. You haven't been in the Hamptons a long time. I see Don Lemon and Andy, but I see Don Lemon every Friday night. He is living his best life in the Hamptons all summer with his husband. I don't think he cares.
No, but
He wants to do something, I guess. I don't know
I'm
why.
sure he wants to do something, and I think he feels like his reputation was tarnished, and I'm sure he's frustrated because he really loved what he did.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of frustration there that you're not getting to do what you love to do, but 24 million makes it sting a little bit less.
Yeah, I mean, can't you? Honestly, he should have a podcast.
I believe he does.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
That is where Chris Hansen has a podcast. That's where you
I've
go
had
if you're
Chris
canceled.
Hansen on.
Oh, well, there you go.
He's lovely. He's fascinating.
If you're canceled, just start your podcast and do it your own way.
Exactly. So,
Yes.
other things I've been thinking about.
Tell me.
Travis and Taylor. There's been a little bit of a kerfuffle, which leads back to
Bethenny.